Hello and welcome to Small Gold's American Silver Eagle Sales Update for the month of February 2017. American Silver Eagle sales slumped 75% in February. American Silver Eagle sales fall flat in February. U.S. Mint sells 1,215,000 American Silver Eagles in February. This is the lowest amount of Silver Eagles sold in February, in the month of February, since 2008. And there is a culprit for that. And we're going to see it in a second. So the U.S. Mint only sold 1.215 million American Silver Eagles, and that's down 74.6% from last year. Let's take a look at the chart of February sales. Now, February normally is a month that obviously follows January, but January is usually a big month in American Silver Eagle sales, especially over the last 7 or 8 years. And so February, the need to replenish stocks isn't as great, and February is a shorter month, so the numbers are usually smaller in February than they are in January. However, you could see here 1.215 million is the lowest since before the financial crisis of February sales in 2008. Usually, American Silver Eagle sales in February are well above 1.5 million, 2 million, and sometimes even 3 million, as we've had in a few years. And last year was a record nearly 5 million American Silver Eagles sold in February 2016. So why the dip? Well, to me it's obvious. The reason is that there's price. Over the past few years, and silver was sold in massive amounts in India, in China. The United States had record amounts of American Silver Eagle sales. The Indian country of India had record amounts of silver imports. And that's because the price of silver had gone down. So when we see all of this buying, it's a result of, at least in the last few years, the result of silver going down, down, down in price, and investors grabbing that silver when they see that gold-silver ratio going higher, when they see the price of silver heading lower. It's viewed as a good deal. Industries have no trouble stockpiling it at lower prices. Investors, collectors love to pick up silver when it's cheap. And you can see here, if you look at the chart, the last few years is an annual chart. Well, these 3 years, look at them, as the amount of American Silver Eagles goes higher, the price was going lower in 2013, 14, and 15. You could see it quite clearly, 42 million, 44 million, 47 million American Silver Eagles sold in 2013, 14, and 15. And then in 2016, the price rose. Boom. Down go the American Silver Eagle sales, and this is just 2017 to date. But it is clear, at least to me, that the price of silver is not calculated by how much silver is sold, but rather the amount of silver sold is based on what the price is. So the price of silver seems to be driven by the paper demand in physical contracts on the COMEX and the LBMA, and also for the silver ETFs. So it looks like that what happens is the price of silver is not based on the physical demand, but rather the investor demand for the paper and digital products. So Western traders are very likely to chase the price of silver higher, go long on silver, so to speak, on futures contracts, but they're not long on physical silver. They're long on the price of silver through the contracts, long on silver as represented by inflows into silver ETFs. And when that price rises, that has an inverse relationship on the amount of physical silver sold. And then, of course, it works the other way around. When the price drops and sentiment is lower on the paper digital side, well, the sentiment on the physical side is quite excited, and it buys as much silver as it can at those lower prices. So I think what you're seeing in this year, in last year as well, represents an increased price in silver. Anecdotally, I've had people tell me they're waiting for price drops so they can buy more. I know a lot of people stopped stacking last year because the prices were higher and they were sitting on silver that they bought over the last 3 years at lower prices. Not everyone is like that, but I think in general, the market tends to like lower prices and buy there. And all that buying doesn't boost the price. It just gives people an opportunity to buy lower, because the amount of physical trading versus in dollar amounts versus the amount of paper digital trading is far smaller. So it's not the paper markets, the futures markets are what drive the price, because that's where the volume is. That's not where the volume of physical sales are, but that's where the volume in the supposed silver market is. And that's why you see this divergence, because when you see all this massive Indian silver buying and American Silver Eagle buying and Austrian Mint silver buying, Canadian Mint silver buying, they're just taking advantage. Those sales are taking advantage of the lower paper price. They're not driving the price higher. So it's counterintuitive. You see all these sales, you say, wow, look at all the sales of silver. Why isn't the price going up? It's because the physical market is not driving the price of silver. If you're interested in buying silver, you can do so on the Small Gold site or at the links below this YouTube. We have a number of affiliates, including BGASC, Golden Eagle Coins, JM Bullion, Money Metals Exchange. You can also purchase through SD Bullion. You can compare pricing and shipping on these coins. If you do buy through the links on the site and or below this YouTube, Small Gold gets a small commission, and you pay no more, no less than if you visited the sites directly. And it's not investment advice to buy or sell silver or anything else or gold, except if you are going to buy and you've made the decision that it's right for you. Please consider doing so through one of the 4 or 5 bullion dealers that are listed on the Small Gold site or below this podcast. Also, please consider donating to Small Gold via PayPal through the link below, or on the website, or via Bitcoin, or become a patron and give a monthly amount to Small Gold. So the American Silver Eagle coin, for those of you who aren't aware, it is the most widely recognized and most widely sold silver bullion coin in the world, far ahead of the Canadian silver maple leaf. There's a picture of it right there. It's minted in a number of US mints, has a face value of $1. It is 3 nines silver. It's got a little copper in it. It's not 4 nines. And they've sold over 500 million of them since 1986. Let's take a look at the silver price. Silver price let's look at that. Let's look at the gold silver ratio, not the silver price. The gold silver ratio is now below 70 to 1, which, I don't have the up-to-date charts. Oh, no, actually, this is an up-to-date chart. The price of silver is $18.40 as we speak on Wednesday, but this is not an up-to-date gold silver chart, but it's still below 70 to 1. The amount of silver to gold sold at the US Mint, as we've seen, massive amounts of silver sold as the price was lower versus the amount of gold sold, and that number dropped last year to about 46 1-ounce American Silver Eagles sold for every 1 ounce American Gold Eagle sold. But as you can see, in 2014 they sold over 106 1-ounce American Silver Eagles to every 1 ounce American Gold Eagle. This year it was 59 to 1 in January, and in February it was 57 to 1. They didn't sell much gold either in February 2017, as we'll see tomorrow when we review the American Gold Eagle sales. So February, definitely a breather for both American Silver Eagles and American Gold Eagles. Here is the American Silver Eagle premium chart. The premiums have gone down significantly since the US Mint is well stocked, and the demand for Silver Eagles, while it's modest or robust, it's just not off the charts, and they're not sold out of the coins. As you can see what happened when they, in the record year of 2015, towards the end of the year, there was a significant shortage of silver planchets, and the premiums on American Silver Eagles skyrocketed, as did Canadian maple leaf, silver maple leafs, and that's when they introduced that Australian silver kangaroo, and that also sold in that one particular month in September 3.5 million. So that was definitely a period of frantic buying of silver, and the price was heading down. Once the price started to move back up, things settled down, and there's still a lot of silver being sold. Let's not kid ourselves. Look, if you look here, the last few years, it's still, even last year, which was a down year, was still a pretty significant year compared to when basically there was not many people buying silver. So there's definitely large amounts of silver being bought. But in the overall scheme of things, 50 million ounces of silver sold by the U.S. Mint in a year sounds significant, but it's less than, it's like 6-7% of the annual silver mining production. And if you take into account how much silver is, quote, traded in paper amounts, it's basically nothing. So that's where you have the distinction between the paper markets and the physical markets. And I think the only reason, not the only reason, the only way you'll ever see the physical demand actually influence the paper markets is A, either the paper markets go away, or B, there's actually a physical shortage and people pay what they need to pay. Now, you did see that in a sense with the premiums on the coins. The price of silver didn't go up when there was a shortage of American silver eagles, not because there was a shortage of silver, but because there was a shortage of physical coins in that form, and silver eagles. Then you do see a spike in the premium. But had that silver eagle shortage manifested itself instead of a silver eagle shortage, but a actual silver shortage, then you would see the price, the physical price would take over the price of the paper price. But I don't think we've ever been close to that happening, just because investors seem to be very comfortable in buying and getting their exposure to silver via the paper products. And there generally seems to be, even though we see this supposed deficit in silver every year, there still seems to be no shortage or little or no inability to actually source physical silver for those who actually want it. And the people who want it are the physical investors and also those who need it for industry. Now, there you are. That is the state of silver eagle sales in February. We'll keep a track of them. On the website, we do a weekly update where we show the daily trackings of silver sales. As the Mint puts them out, I post them on Twitter, and then I do a weekly roundup in the case you missed it, so you can see the silver sales there as well. And then obviously we do a end of month wrap up. Tomorrow we'll do gold, and then we'll do the gold buffalo sales, the America the Beautiful sales. We still have to catch up on the Canadian Mint third quarter sales. That about does it.